this season of the GSL Code S.
GSL.
Forever changing, evolving.
Welcome to GSL Daybreak.
All right, game number 2 is underway. In the upper right, we have our player, as our toast said, like Liu Kang's bicycle kick. Is that right? Is that it?
Liu Kang.
Liu Kang, excuse me. I don't know as much about Mortal Kombat, but he's very solid, and he is...
Flair's MMA.
And I really do agree with that. It's just total flurry of action. It's just, you're going to get caught up in the storm that is MMA.
You're not Scorpion's good over here, though. I decided you're Baraka's hat.
And in the bottom left, as our toast described as Sub-Zero's freeze beam.
That's not who has the hat. I'm so bad at Mortal Kombat.
All right. Anyways, this player is...
AGIM MVP.
You are Baraka with that hat, though.
Baraka's he's the guy that...
He's the guy with the teeth, the big teeth.
The teeth, and he's got the blades, right, for hands?
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's good.
Yeah, they're like, I think they're...
You are actually that girl that wears purple and has the fan. I figured this out.
Oh, she's so sick.
She's so sick, man.
All right.
No, actually, remember when I asked you this like last year? I was like, which guy in Mortal Kombat am I? And you're like, well, you're Johnny Cage. And I'm like, oh.
That's true. Well, that's true. That
actually is true.
I was trying to think of moves, though. Anyways. Yeah, man. Because you always think you're like Scorpion and Goku, and you always think you're like the best guy.
I get to be like...
You actually remind me of Killer, who just left Complex, Songho.
Yeah.
You remind me of him because he's always like, oh no, I'm Goku and Vegeta. I'm like, listen, man, you can't just... You're that kid that no one wants to play with because you always think you're the best character. Sometimes you're just not, okay?
Sometimes you gotta be
somebody has to be Krillin today, Tasteless, and it's you.
I'll be Krillin. I'll take one for the team and be Krillin.
All right. So, we do have both players gassing here. MMA's gas, definitely quite a bit quicker than MVP's gas. Oh, wait. No, I mean, other way around. I get them mixed up. But anyways.
Actually, when these two play, I find it actually very difficult. They're both Terran, they're both 3 letters, and they both start with M.
Yeah, and they're both really good.
Yeah.
So you can't just look at who's on and who. Anyways, MVP is the one, the blue Terran here. He's got that very much quicker factory. And an instant tech lab by MVP. Interesting. Does this mean instant tanks? Or is he going to get an upgrade for his Marines here?
It looks like MVP's actually going to go for some kind of really funky timing, man.
Yeah, this could be...
I think I see what he's going to do. Oh, no.
Oh, okay,
I thought he was going to do that older build that we saw where people get, like, they float a barracks and they get a bunch of siege tanks against the guy that expanded right away.
Sure, that's...
and they actually just push. Yeah, but I think that could still be usable.
Both players look like they're going to be going for Banshees here. But MVP is getting some Marines and Hellions as well, so we might see some pressure from him on the Marines of his opponent to try to get his Banshees in there and do more damage. And in fact, we don't see a second gas from him, so it's going to be a cloakless Banshee, which we barely ever see, but it makes sense that he's getting the Marines and Hellions with this, because then you can reduce the Marines and actually get the Banshee to do a lot of damage, whereas a lot of people just utilize Cloak to get through the Marines.
All right. We haven't really seen MVP do this build before, I don't think. Have we? This specific build? This Marineless?
I don't know if we've seen MVP do this one, but MMA, I have to do a little correction. He didn't get the second gas. He's actually going for the Marine Hellion style with the medevac, which obviously is something we see quite often in this matchup and in TVP.
Well, MVP's Hellion there barely dodges.
Very, very low on health with just 2 left. MMA has like a great spread of Marines on top of his range.
This is an interesting stat that kind of highlights what we're talking about. He's 2-10 against MMA. If there's one player that actually beats MVP, it's MMA.
Well, 1-8 versus MMA, and then 1-2 against Tasia.
Excuse me.
So, yeah, these are players that just have his number.
Yeah, 1-8. Well, I mean,
he doesn't have to worry because at this rate, he's going to be playing Mana next.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right.
Well, what if MVP doesn't get out of his group? That could actually happen, man.
MC didn't get out of his group, man. Maybe this is the season of the fall of the multiple-time champions.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what
What a great title for that, too.
Yeah.
What are you, like a marketing team or something, or Justice?
You call me Donald Draper. Now, we do have MMA starting to push forward with this, but the Banshee will force him back very easily.
Now he knows that Banshee is out now, so there's no element of surprise there.
And he's actually going for some Viking Hellion backup. MVP is. Nice little scan there, seeing what's up.
Yeah, that scan could not have been better. The location it was placed in.
He basically saw everything. Now, both players are going to go for expansions, but of course, MMA is a little bit slower. No real damage done by either player, but this could cause some. He wants to target down these Marines as best as possible.
Wow, the Hellions obliterated.
These Marines actually doing a lot more damage than I think anyone had expected, but it looks like he only lost the Banshee that was really important there.
Yeah, you can see MVP decided that he hadn't right-clicked the Banshee, so he actually turned it back around, and then it got shot by that Viking.
All right, so MVP does end up cleaning up there, and that's the Swiss Army knife of units in early game. The Hellion plus Viking combination, really useful, does hold there. And in fact, MVP, after killing that off, immediately taking another base. I love it. What a smart move.
And yeah, this is definitely a good move here by him. Now MMA, he did lose a lot of his army, so he's going to be stuck in his base for a little bit. Why not? MVP could take a pretty substantial lead here. In fact, now hitting this depot right here.
That's a little bit annoying.
But even if he lands that command center and transfers SCVs, he can actually run in there with the Hellions. He doesn't need these Hellions later on. He can just run in there and try to kill as many SCVs as he wants.
Oh, he might. He's actually continuing to make Hellions and getting a Banshee, so I think he's actually going to end up going mech here. In fact, he just threw down a command center, so it's really looking like that. In the meantime, of course, MMA, he doesn't do mech. He's not into mech. That's why we're not friends.
You can never be friends or toast.
No, we can't do it.
All right, this Viking coming down here. And unfortunately, this Viking's basically screwed no matter what happens now.
Yeah, looks like he's going to be going down. Wow! I like it when we see the Viking thing where it lands and the other ones land, and then it jumps up and the other ones jump up.
At the end of the day, it's like this is just useless APM.
Someone eventually figures out that you leave some in the air or something.
Yeah. All right. The Hellions of MVP now being driven out now. And we do have additional factories, as Artosis predicted. MVP going mech.
It's going to be really nice with this very fast third base, but that's going to leave a little window where maybe MMA can get something done.
Yeah.
You know, he's got his stim not quite halfway. Combat shields +1, Medivacs coming out. There's going to be the potential for him to get in there and do a little bit of damage.
I think you're absolutely right, because you know you see two bases here for MVP, two additional bases, and there's two places on ground he can be attacked. On top of that, you know, there's the main that can be dropped. Yeah. And he's in a hurry to get as much mech as possible so we can actually get some map dominance.
That's right.
So we'll see. MMA might do some little timing that could do a lot of damage.
Yeah, he's focused a lot on Hellions and Vikings thus far, so Medivac drops aren't going to be what he's scared about. Any Marauders that can be pumped out are going to be the best units to use against him right now, and in fact, he does have 3 Raxes with Tech Labs, only 2 with Reactors, so that's going to give him a pretty strong composition against what we're going to see out of MVP, because he hasn't even started Siege Mode, and he just started his first 2 tanks. So this is going to be a pretty scary attack that's coming up.
All right, note he did not see all the army there. The Hellions are now going around, so MVP does not look like he's going to use the Hellions to defend. He might want to try to counter and deny a third, but it doesn't look like MMA is going to try to do that. And so now the Hellions are going to come back here. He may have scanned that location previously. And this angle is going to be so good against those Marines. Very nice.
Ooh, yeah, very well done there. Right before concussive shells are done, too. Because if those are done, you might lose a Hellion or 2. But as is, he's getting in there and getting out really well. In fact, he's stopping in the rally. Look at this.
Yeah.
Beautifully done.
Very good. And they scan each other. It looks like those Hellions might have been preoccupied.
He does have point defense drone, and it does go down. Really targeted. He targets with Marines. Very well done there. He's got to kill these Marines off, though, if he wants to have a chance.
And I think there might be too many Marines and Marauders here. These tanks are being targeted down. And I guess he has to land the Vikings, which, by the way, are not good against Marauders here.
And in fact, I mean, this is basically death for MVP. I don't think that you can stop MMA very easily from a place like this.
Yeah, a lot of damage being dealt here. He needs to target down that Marauder, and he does do that.
This is going to be hard now, because now it's down to the scrappy area where the IO player is going to do really well against the mech player. You have to really stabilize, and with MMA up 20 supply right now,
and with
no
mobility,
way to hold that third.
Yeah, and with mobility on his side.
Yeah. He may as well just lift that. Or, okay, there we go.
I was going to say, you need to evacuate those SCVs.
Yeah, he's going to use his Banshees now, which he can do. He can absolutely use these.
And again, he can just regroup and come in here again with some small army like that.
It's going to be hard to hold anything. He only has 3 factories. He has so few mech units right now. He's really utilizing basically Banshees and Hellions to try to hold this off. And that makes medevac drops really good. Like, he could just go drop in the main base right now. And what is MVP going to do against him?
Yeah, exactly. I cannot go up here, but he's testing the waters. I would actually drop the main if I were him. All right. I guess me and MMA are on the same skill level, Artosis.
That must be it.
That must be the
You're
only
probably better.
Probably. All right, and he's look at this. He's going to get in here, no problem. That medevac will easily unload everything, and he might be able to take out that Viking.
Yeah, and
he does.
Medevacs both live. Bad news bears for MVP. This is going to be really cost inefficient to clean this up. And yeah, look at this. A bunch of depots should go down. He's going to have to tank push his way in the meantime. Still not mining from his third base.
Yep. Even losing that refinery over there, got to be a little bit annoying. And he says save 4 Marauders, which of course are more valuable than Marines when you're going up against mech. So nicely done.
Yeah, that was very well done. And MMA, this is what happens if you get mech on the back foot like this. You know, I liked the fact that he made the 3rd command center against MMA after killing off his army. That was really smart. But when he saw the aggression starting to come, you should look at that and say, uh-oh, this is going to be really, really difficult. Now, if MMA had made like a 3rd command center, the siege timing would have been fine for MVP. But MMA went straight into just 2 base Marine Marauder medevac.
A little bit greedy.
Yeah, it's... you know, MMA, he went straight for it, and MVP was a bit too greedy for it, and now he's just paying for it. But he's starting to stabilize a little bit. Not a, you know, the attacks that we saw before won't work anymore. You know, he's got a little missile turret ring, not too big. He's got a decent number of siege tanks. He's got some Banshees.
I feel like he could take his 3rd again.
Yeah, I think he's going to take it pretty soon. Just give him another round or 2 of units, and he should be able to push down there and do that. But he's got to be really careful about it.
As you can see, map control going to MMA right now. And I guess he's not going to drop that location just yet. I think MMA is basically waiting for MVP to try to take a 3rd, and then the attack's going to resume. Meanwhile, MMA is actually almost at 166 supply to MVP's 119. By the way, he is actually going to try to take that 3rd, so let's see if MMA can do it.
All right, so I mean, he's got a good spread of siege tanks. The one thing I'm scared about is that he only has a handful of Vikings and he doesn't have them over his siege tanks the whole time. He needs to make some missile turrets because MMA will eventually realize that the Vikings can be brought out of position, and the second they are, if he drops on the tanks, the game will end. Like, that will be it.
Well
like,
said.
MVP can't lose units anymore. This is his last chance.
All right, he's taking the 3rd now. Note the nice arc contain MMA has over here. And he's just going to keep mining. Go ahead, Artosis.
I now understand what the Greens are going about. They are, he's making a ton of Ghost Academies. So he's going to start nuke pushing.
Oh, wow.
Not a bad choice. Nukes have great range. And what you do is you force the unsiege and for them to move back. And when they're in an uncomfortable position, you force another unsiege. You can stim and run in and cancel your nuke. And I mean, if
this
they're
is
unsiege,
so cool.
Yeah.
2 of our games with Top Terrans, they're showing us what you can do when you get a really solid contain, but you don't want to just try attacking into them.
Yeah,
stuff like this.
Like that's what MVP wants. He just wants a straight attack in, so that siege tanks can just pulverize the puny Marine Marauder force. But on open ground, if these aren't siege, then MMA crushes.
Looks like he's going to drop over here. All right, and this may force a brief flip. Remember, a lot of SCVs being hit here. The Hellions are coming in, and he just picks up.
Yeah, very nicely done.
Yeah.
He can trade all sorts of units in a situation like that. He does have his 4th base up in mining now. And he is making 5 ghosts with 3-3 on the way.
All right, and Cloak's about to finish.
MVP, he's cutting upgrades out of what he's doing because he is so far behind. You know, he's just trying to get a big army out, which is actually the right choice here, but that could end up costing him. It's going to take a while for him to catch up on upgrades. Just now starting only +3 attack for his mech units.
Well, we're gonna have we have 3 nukes done and 4 more on the way, and I mean, where do you nuke if you're gonna do this, Artosis? Do you just like start nuking everywhere, like nuke?
I mean, I guess you could. I would just maybe go towards the 3rd. It's a little bit more wide open to run in with.
Well, it looks like he wants to move out now. Now, if he cloaks his ghosts and spreads them out.
Well, he's actually just going to go for it. MVP's starting to move out. And, you know, this is the beauty of the mech composition. It definitely can destroy Marine Marauder if you're sieged up.
All right. So he's going to go and back up. We do have a counter drop coming up over here.
Now, MVP probably doesn't know about that. Oh, he actually just dropped it up toward the north instead of looping around for a drop on the 3rd.
Oh, nice. He's going to nuke over here. Let's see if Legend can get the right one. There it is.
Very good. Oh, that's really smart. But he doesn't have any medevacs over there to capitalize on killing the missile turret.
Is that Ghost's going to get hit?
No.
Distance?
Not quite.
Not quite, right. All right, scanning, taking that Ghost out.
Looks like MVP has decided he wants to try for a little kill move, but a nice defensive nuke.
And he's now going to try to drop into the main. Now remember, MVP's maxed out, so he might have no army there.
Yeah.
He needs to nuke another defensive nuke again, I think.
And
all right, there it is.
Really,
he just can't attack into this. This is so badass.
Yeah, this is really cool by MMA right now.
MMA doing some Harlem Globetrotter stuff over here.
Yeah. He's marrowing it up. And here we go.
We got another
MVP
attack.
trying once again. Now, he doesn't have any point defense drones, it looks like, which could be an issue, but that is a lot.
He needs to nuke again. I don't know if he has it, but if he does, he needs to nuke again.
We do have a drop in the main base of MVP, and it is being so ridiculously good.
Yeah, well, all these SCVs are going to die. Too many medevacs there.
Yeah.
Now you can cloak again, and a nuke! A nuke!
Uh-oh. If that nuke goes off, Jesus, that'll be a game ender. And in fact, this is almost a base trade scenario against like 5 units.
Oh my God! He didn't get it. He got it.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Wow. Well, just continual nukes popping out here.
All right, meanwhile, there's, I would say, too much damage being dealt here to MVP's base.
Oh my God. He brought in a Banshee and all his Vikings. And the Vikings, I don't know why he really landed those, but I guess actually that worked out well. But anyways, he's got to dodge these nukes. This is so important. Their supply is actually getting pretty close overall. Will MMA ever
Oh, he's got another nuke that's going to land here.
Oh! He gets his own 2 medevacs that actually were full. He did get the Hellions, though. And, I mean, this is still... Both players have a chance here to win.
Yeah.
Right now, we need to see medevacs loaded up and dropped on these siege tanks, because MVP does not have his Vikings with him.
Instead, he's stimming and just coming in over here. Looks like he wants to try to distract him, and then I think he's going to...
No, that
I don't know what he's doing. He's going to...
Well...
I think, actually, MVP's going to win this, Artosis.
Yeah, it looks like it. And, I mean, this is craziness, man, because there's still a chance for MMA here, absolutely.
Yeah, there is still a chance, but right now MVP definitely will lead.
MVP is actually backing up. If he goes home, it's the smartest thing he could possibly do, I would say. And look at this Ghost that's nuking right next to himself.
Yep, man, he doesn't want that scan.
He doesn't care at all. Watch. Yeah, you were never going to make it out of there, Ghost. All right, so MVP is actually gathering up all his forces. He does have his 4th base up, which is a planetary, and right now a planetary really powerful because MMA is really severely lacking in medevacs, as in 0. And in fact, that's going to be something that could definitely cost him the game here. MVP, okay, He's brought back his tanks. He has his Vikings in the sky. He's
This is how you
stabilized.
win. This is how you win, guys.
Yeah, this is it. I don't know that MMA can come back anymore. MMA, his army is just completely in shambles. He has no medevacs. He's finally making some. His nukes are no longer really connecting.
I don't even know why he's still making nukes. I don't think he can afford this right now.
Launch detected.
I think he's just looking for like a lucky nuke, like maybe this one. Notice how he's trying to make it behind that dish
Yeah.
as best he can. But, I mean, it gets scouted, man.
Wow.
It's the problem with nukes like that, is that you're counting on your opponent not finding it.
Yeah. Well, then the problem is this is MVP, so, you know, the odds of him finding it are pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. He might have a better chance when MVP starts moving around again, maybe throwing down some of those nukes that he hopes he walks through.
Okay, this is a good nuke, though.
Yeah.
He might not be able to find this.
And, you know,
MVP just evacuates. Okay, smart. Now, this also does force MVP to go down.
and
But
MMA,
right now, counterattack here in the center left.
yeah, MMA is going to hit this third base. He's going to kill it, actually. That's definitely going to go down and target the Marines. And that is painful for MVP because MMA is fighting his way back into this game at this point.
Another nuke.
And this one is...
It's on the watchtower.
Ah, yes, it is.
Oh, nice deflection there. Maybe MMA can come up with something here.
That's like such a smart place to do.
Yeah.
Because you can't see back there if you don't have anything back there. That's not somewhere you'd ever look. I've never seen it.
Note how he's continuing to just run away from this army. He doesn't have to engage it here. He will
He's
reclaim that
trapped,
center
though.
right look. I guess he is, yeah.
Yeah, he's coming from both sides here.
Just leave that army there for as long as you possibly can.
Yeah. He just wants him to get sloppy with this and see if he can get some extra kills. Looks like the answer can be no. Not this time.
Now, is the main defended?
The main base?
Where's that nuke, actually?
He has a single Viking, so he saw that the drop was coming, but it did get taken out.
Oh, dude, I think this one's going to land. Is he going to pull out in time? Is he going to pull out in time?
Kills off a turret and damages that.
That'll be good if he nukes again, and he is going to nuke again.
And he's doing a great job with his multitasking once again. MMA really showing his strength here. Didn't kill that ghost, though.
I think he may have overextended himself. I think now suddenly MMA doesn't really have much of anything.
Yeah,
And it's actually very easy for MVP to now attack into him.
kind of out of the blue. He has very little of anything. That's true. He doesn't even have a ghost for his nukes, and he has 2 nukes already made and 2 more making. And with 0 ghosts out, those are not the most useful.
That is true, Artosis.
Yeah.
So, again, it does look like MVP, despite MMA having this overwhelming lead here, we are going to go into game number 3.
Yeah, this was actually a really fun game.
Yeah, this was really cool. So, I don't know if he's going to be able to choke him out here, but certainly MMA is going to be pretty starved here, especially if it looks like he will lose this orbital, and then all MMA has or MVP has to do is go up to the top center, or you can go to the main.
And, well, I mean, this is just about it. We should be seeing a GG.
All right, and you can see MVP had registered. He said, "I've got this." MMA lands a mule, and I think it's going to be GG. There it is.
Lands all his mules. Wouldn't it be funny if like 50 ghosts came in and killed his army then?
Yeah, man.
Imagine if he had all these units that he couldn't possibly have.
Strategy all along was to hide his ghosts. He knew the MVP mass mule drop would occur. This is like StarCraft 2 esports fan fiction right now, what I'm saying.
All right, MVP. Very
If
happy that
StarCraft 2 was ever like a cartoon that was a kid's show, that would be like one of the like closing things of the season.
That would be great, man. I would watch that.
Cocky and land your mules. I came up with a strategy to punish you.
I'd watch that every Saturday morning.
I would, man.
All right, so we're going to go on to game number 3. Can MVP break this curse? Can he say, MMA, I've had enough of you? And push him back right in his face.
We're gonna do it, man. You can see the coach going in there. What a series, man! Like,
He's like, you finally beat a game.
I think this might be actually best of 3s or Artosis. This might be one of the record breakers for best of 3s. Or for length of time. Game number 1 was 45 minutes.
This
Game
was
number 2
35.
was 35.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. Maybe.
I can't think. Of
I don't know what the record would be, but definitely a possibility.
We have Happy in there now. who certainly made his grip look a lot easier than what MVP is experiencing right now. Going in there, probably giving some MVP some words of advice.
Well, you think who do you think's going to actually take this?
What is the map? It's
Antigua
Antigua Shipyard. Okay. I'm going to say MVP actually.
I'm actually going to say MVP too.
I think this is a good MVP in the
much
map.
smaller map. Positionally, in a straight-up positional fight, like in the center, I feel like MVP's got a leg up. It's going to be hard for multi-pronged harassment from MMA just because this is a map where it's hard to get a fourth base. So it's 3 bases, that's not so hard to cover. But when you're getting 4 or 5 like we saw in Whirlwind, that's where MMA is really going to shine.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to find out. And let me tell you something. As far as these two guys go, no matter who they're going to play next, they're going to be very tired after the series.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like...
Especially that first game.
I almost wonder if it would be better to lose this and then have at least a break. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you mean. But no, of course, that would never be better because you can just lose the next match. Okay, so one thing actually, I'll talk about that after because we're about to start, I think. You know what? No, I'm just
you know
say
what?
it now.
You just do it, just YOLO.
That first game, YOLO. That first game, that's the type of game I find tiring, where it's everywhere all the time battles. So, especially this is going to be tiring for them.
All right, get ready for the final game between these two, at least so far here in the GSL Code S.